Many residents and visitors of the Jersey Shore are ready to celebrate the summer of 2021 like it's 2019, with COVID metrics heading in a healthier direction. But before you go to the beach, the boardwalk, or anywhere else this summer, there's a few things that you need to know before you go. As COVID restrictions loosen up, with the unofficial start to summer upon us, Jersey Shore towns are preparing for larger crowds on the beaches and boardwalks. Asbury Park in 2020 was only allowing 3,000 to 4,000 people a day by summer's end. But this summer will be slightly more than that.
We still want safety as our number one concern, but we are looking to increase what we had last year. So we feel like we can go higher than 10, lower than 20.
With the ongoing worker shortage for many communities and businesses, you're asked to have some patience when going out to the beach, boardwalk, retail stores, and restaurants.
Kindness to beach staff who are not only giving out badges, but monitoring, and making sure that people are spaced apart on the beach and that we don't have too many people on one avenue. And our restaurant staff, when you're waiting an hour to get into, potentially Langosta or Brick Wall or Watermark, when you're waiting to get into some of these places, that, you just be really kind and understand the fact that they are staffing based on, they are putting people into their restaurants based on the amount of staffing they have, and there's a staffing shortage.
When you come to Seaside Heights this summer, you'll notice some changes to houses, streets, businesses, the boardwalk, and the overall way of life as borough officials continue their mission of making this a family-friendly destination while working to put an end to the party atmosphere and image.
We've changed our image in the last 4 or 5 years. We've put ordinances in place that stop unruly houses. As far as the future, I can walk up and down this boardwalk and on the boulevard and see new businesses, which bring in a new kind of revenue, not only to the taxation process, but a new kind of revenue to the public. There are going to be different types of restaurants with a variety of different types of foods. There's going to be more amusement rides on a casino pier. And we're looking at this as progress.
When you head to the beach this summer to catch some rays or swim in the ocean, there's a few safety rules to follow.
We want everybody swimming in front of the lifeguard stand between the blue flags. Now, those blue flags could move a little bit depending on the surf conditions, the wind conditions, and the rip current conditions.
It's important to remember that when you go into the water for a swim, that you're not an Olympic swimmer, unless you actually are. And above all, to know your body's physical limits, especially early on in the summer between May and June. As
the summer progresses, so does your conditioning, so does your beach awareness, your ocean awareness. So those things, we want to try to, from the awareness standpoint, hit the beach in August mode in June, as opposed to just, walking in and thinking you can go swim 200 meters or go out in really big surf and when your body is not ready.
If you do find yourself in trouble in the water, Brian Serbone, the beachfront supervisor in Ortley Beach, says it's important to remain as calm as possible.
I know it's a stressful situation and you want to panic, but don't panic. You're not going to win the battle with the ocean. If you get caught in what we call a sea puss or a hole, you'll get sucked out. It's not going to pull you under, it's going to pull you out. One of our lifeguards will come and get you at that point. It's just going to pull you out about 100 yards, and then we'll have to swim you in. If you are strong enough and you want to try, you will swim parallel to the beach.
One of the more common health concerns during the summer are heat-related illnesses. Early symptoms of an illness include confusion, not speaking correctly, sweating profusely, and being very flushed in the face. It elevates to an emergency if you stop sweating, Howell Police EMS Coordinator Peg Doyle explains, because your body's compensatory mechanisms are failing. So there's a few vital things to do at this point.
The biggest thing is to get them out of the heat, get them into a cooler environment. If you can't get them into the air conditioning, at least get them into the shade. Get any restrictive or tight clothing loosened up for them. And don't try to take them into the hospital on your own. It's really important that you summon 911 to the scene. The EMTs and paramedics are much better equipped to handle these type of emergencies.
It is important to get outside, though, if and when you can, not just to the beach and boardwalk, but to enjoy the sights and sounds of the Jersey Shore while you exercise.
Now is a great time of year in the spring and in the summertime to be able to take advantage of the outdoors, get back into an exercise routine. That will help them with everything. God forbid there's a relapse of some of the COVID cases. What we're generally seeing with the COVID cases is that if people are generally healthy, they're faring recovering pretty well. But that's a general rule of thumb for everything, whether it's your general viral infection or bacterial. The healthier you are as a person, the better your body is to fight off that infection, whether it's COVID or anything else. So really encouraging the residents to really take advantage of this time, get back into their exercise routines, go for that walk, go for that bike ride, go out with the family, enjoy the boardwalk and the beaches and all of that, and just really get back to that new sense of normal and make that part of that new sense of normal.
A fun day at the Jersey Shore this summer may just be a drive away, but doing 10 or 20 miles per hour over the speed limit or talking on the phone and texting while behind the wheel are big-time no-nos, and police will be watching, as you may see as well. If you see somebody yourself swerving or driving at dangerous speeds, call 911.
People call 911 for every type of emergency, and somebody that's driving erratically like that is a threat to other motorists on the road, and that is an emergency. So we absolutely do encourage people to call 911, and we would want that person to stay on the line with our telecommunicators. That's the easiest way for us to apprehend that person a lot quicker if we know the direction of travel, where they're going, where they're passing.
There are specific rules for pedestrians and for drivers. Both must follow what the traffic signal is indicating and stay within the proper paths on the road.
If you're a pedestrian, you're walking into a crosswalk, a vehicle has to stop and let you cross. Now, if the vehicle is doing 35 miles an hour and you're running out into the crosswalk, you can't expect that car to stop on a dime and let the person.
While recreational marijuana is on its way to being a reality in New Jersey, there are and will be rules to where you can actually smoke it, some depending on local ordinances. Police at the Jersey Shore are addressing this and other concerns about the marijuana law ahead of the summer.
I'll remind people that on this boardwalk, you cannot smoke anything on the boardwalk. That means you can't smoke a cigarette, you can't vape, and now you can't smoke marijuana. And if you are, you'll be approached by one of my officers and directed off the boardwalk or to put out whatever you're smoking.
The public needs to be aware it's not legal yet. Obviously, it's going to be, and we're taking the plans and developing policies to deal with that. But right now, the state guidance is dismal. So here in Howell, and I know a lot of the other towns here in Monmouth County, we've put a pause on the enforcement because of the guidance is so vague, and it's also confusing coming from the state that I'm not going to allow, and neither are the Monmouth County Chiefs, are going to allow their officers to be put in a situation where they could be held criminally or civilly liable for minor marijuana. It's not going to happen. If they basically want a hands-off approach by putting a law that's so vague and restrictive on us, then we're going to take precautions on our end to make sure we protect our officers as well.
Whether it's COVID-related rules or non-COVID-related rules, you're being asked to do your part to make sure that everybody can have a safe, healthy, and fun summer. At the Jersey Shore, Vin Ebenu, Town Square Media News.